Hi, did you know that of the challenges we encounter in life, they usually fall into one of two categories, and one of them is a lot more common than the other one. So the two categories are number one, technical. The first type of challenge we could have in life is a technical challenge, and they're not necessarily easy, but they're pretty straightforward. The solution is well known. The solution can be applied by acquiring usually a new skill. One example that's often used is that of removing an appendix. So you have a doctor who's trained and licensed, and maybe he's never performed or been trained to remove an appendix. Well, he's got the skills to operate in other kinds of operations. He can be trained how to do the steps to remove an appendix. So that's a technical skill, technical challenge. Sometimes organizations have technical challenges where they're rolling out new software. That's a technical challenge in more ways than one. Or you have an employee that needs to earn or learn another element of the job. Well, the training should be well known. It should be something that can be rolled out and utilized with this employee fairly easily. So technical problems are not necessarily easy, but the solutions are pretty straightforward, fairly well known. The more common type of challenge that we face in life is called an adaptive challenge. And with an adaptive challenge, it doesn't require learning a new skill set, it requires a change in mindset. So we have to change our mindset, and that's more difficult. And there can be things in the way of us changing our minds or changing our mindset, limiting beliefs, as they're often called, or competing commitments, as I like to refer to them. These competing commitments, we may be convinced in our own minds that if we do things differently than how we're doing it, that it's not going to work. Let's take delegation, for example. There are people that cannot easily delegate because they believe the only way the work's going to be done well, be done right, is to do it themselves. And so they don't delegate, they can't delegate. But the only way they would know whether that belief is true or not is to test it by delegating and see if the work still gets done. And of course, there's mitigating factors. You can delegate and the work not get done because the person you delegated it to may not have the skills or the knowledge to complete the task. And that's, as a leader, would be on you to provide that skills and training, because more than likely they can do it if they've got the right kind of support. So those are the two types of challenges. As I said, the adaptive challenge is a lot more common. We face it more often. And we see this in the typical promotion of from worker to leader to higher level leader. And you may have a great employee, they may be a good or a great leader, but as they go up the ladder, what you find is that ultimately they reach their maximum level of failure because they weren't prepared, because we did not prepare them to accomplish and perform that mind shift change that is necessary to handle the more complicated requirements of that leadership position. So in these instances, we have to do better. And most people are at a loss on how to really tackle these adaptive mind shift change types of problems. And that's why it is a situation where it would behoove anyone who's struggling with this to get help. Get a coach. If you're an organization, get a consultant who's familiar with adult development and adaptive challenges. So in a nutshell, that's what I wanted to say today. If you have any questions about the technical versus adaptive challenges, shoot me a message. I'll get back to you as soon as I can.